So here is the first look at the Oknife Fortitude. This is a full Tang fixed blade knife. It's made out of good materials. So you've got D2 tool steel with G10 handle scales. The weight of the knife is 308.8 grams or 10.89 ounces. And that weight is with the sheath. If you count the weight of this knife without the sheath, you're looking at 7.14 ounces or 202.5 grams. So I'm very excited about this. Let's go ahead and open this up and take a look. This is just wonderful. I'm so excited to be sharing this with you guys today. Now, the current retail price of this knife at the time of me filming is $89 and some change, so right at 90 bucks. So here we have a look at the information that's included. Thank you for purchasing this Oknife product. And really all this talks about in this manual is the holster. It gives you some specs of the knife, and it talks about how to operate the holster, which I will show you all of that in this video. So we have a nice little patch here that's Velcro, so you can put this on something. That's pretty cool. There is the holster. Now let me talk about this for just 1 second. This is a nice Kydex holster. Now right here on this end you have this little switch. It has off and it has on. So you can switch it to off, and what that does is that will not allow this button to be pressed. If you switch it over to on, it allows this button to be pressed, which allows you to open this door and put this around your belt. So you don't have to thread your belt through. You just open this door by pushing this button. Again, when it's in the off position, that button won't press. So I thought that was very cool. A good job that they did on this holster. Very nice. So if we look here at the knife itself, this is beautiful. This is a beautiful, beautiful knife. Now, so this is a Cerakoted blade. For those of you who don't understand what Cerakote is, that is a ceramic coating on the blade. It makes it more durable. It makes it more water resistant. It helps it by being abrasion resistant, you know, wear and tear and stuff like that. This is a fantastic coating that they put on here. It also helps with chemical and corrosion resistance, rust, things like that. So we're dealing with a little clip point design here. This is D2 tool steel, full Tang knife, G10 handle scales. So these G10 handle scales are nice because they're lightweight, they're durable, they're water resistant. It's just fantastic. Now the retention, you're going to be blown away by this. The retention of the sheath. Take a look at this. You put that in, listen. There is zero wobble sound, nothing. Absolutely nothing. This is fantastic. Now, the retention of this holster is just top notch. They did a fantastic job with this. Now, the jimping right here on the thumb ramp, I love what they did here. They made it recessed underneath the G10 handle scales. And you have a little bit of a ramp right here, right where it needs to be. A lot of knives will put jimping all up in this area. I don't like that, because what that does is that takes away your ability to strike a ferro rod and things like that, scrape barks and stuff like that. This is a clip point style blade. The blade length itself right here is 4.27 inches. That's 108.6 millimeters. If you want to talk about the handle length right here, we're dealing with 4.72 inches or 120 millimeters. And the thickness of the blade, they chose a very good, smart thickness here. It's 0.15 inches or 3.7 millimeters. This is just a very well thought out, very well designed knife. I'm really, really happy about this. Now the overall length of the knife is 8.9 inches or 228.6 millimeters. This thing is just fantastic, and it is razor sharp out of the box. This little paper here, or plastic, or whatever this is, I'm sure it's gonna just slice right through that. Look at that. This is like a thick kind of a plasticky kind of paper. Look at that initial sharpness. It is very sharp right out of the box. I'm really enjoying this. Now, batoning is a process that I use quite often. This is juniper, so this is a hardwood, and if we look at that in relation to the blade, it's a pretty good chunk of piece of wood. I'm going to use this as my baton, and I'm just going to go like full length here of the thickest part of the wood here, and I'm just going to pop this through and see how it works. I am going to be hitting the blade right on the tip, so my impact zone is going to be right on the tip. I'm not going to cut any corners here. I want to see how this thing does on some batoning on this hardwood. Went right through it, no problem. Very nice job. Let's try this again. I'm going to go through, once again, I'm going to go through the thickest part of this wood right here. This piece of wood is not real straight, so it's kind of presenting a little bit of a problem. But once I get started, look at that. Just very easily goes right through there. No problem. Batoning is something that a lot of people don't like doing with knives. I always want to have a knife that is going to baton. No problem there. It went right through that material. Let's try this piece here. Let's get it right here. We're going to just go right down there. It just goes through that like butter. Twist the blade. Look at that, goes right in there. No problem, and that's pretty good wood. I have another piece here that's a little bit thicker. So in comparison to the blade, we'll go ahead and give this one a shot and see how it's gonna do. So we'll go right here. Maybe I'm trying to make a hearth board or something like that, and I need a real clean, precise, look at that. Right through that. Very nice. Now if I wanted to do some shaving, how is that going to work? How's that initial sharpness? Let's take a look at that. Even after doing some batoning, it still has some good sharpness to it. And I can do one of these deep cuts. Look at that. The material is just flying off of there. Very nice little blade. It's making quick work of that. Very nice. Now let's go ahead and do some more batoning. We're gonna get through this one more time or more, I'm not sure. I'm gonna go right on the tip. Like I said, we're gonna go right on that coating. Wow, that thing did a wonderful job. So look at how clean of a board that is. If I was making a board for friction fire, this is just wonderful. Look at how flat that side can be. Just with some quick work of this. Nice squared up edges there. So if I was going to make a hearth, look at that. That is fantastic. It did a good job. Also, if I'm processing wood for my fire, maybe I need to make some kindling or something. As you can see, the knife makes easy work of this stuff. Just a little twist of the blade, pops that piece apart. This knife is doing really, really well. I'm impressed. So let's take a look at the blade after doing a little bit of batoning. You can see that Cerakote held up really well. Profile of the blade is good. The Cerakoting, it helps give you more impact strength on your blade, and it also makes it a little bit harder. So it's very nice. I'm very impressed with this Oknife Fortitude. It didn't have any hot spots in the handle. The handle just fits my hand very nice. There's a lanyard hole down there. They just did a wonderful job In my opinion, this is the best knife that they've ever done. It's the first and only full tang knife that I know of. I like what they did right here on this little area. I love how the jimping doesn't go too far up into here. So you could definitely scrape a ferro rod with that. I'm gonna go grab a ferro rod and we're gonna take a look at that. Okay, got a little bit of juniper bark here. I'm gonna try to get some kind of a little tinder pile together. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time working on it or processing it. I'm just gonna work on a little bit of tinder here. Something quick and down and dirty. And we're gonna see how this thing hits a ferro rod. Does it do well? Does it not do well? Let's give this thing a couple practice runs. Yeah. This is pretty marginal. I don't know what it's gonna do. I don't know if it'll catch a spark or not. Okay, so I've got a little bit of a tinder pile here. Nothing fantastic by any means. I got some napkins because this tinder pile is not very good at all. So I'm gonna cheat, use a little bit of napkins here, and hopefully we'll be able to get some ignition out of this Oknife Fortitude. Let's take a look. There we go. We have ignition. Put some of our tiny stuff on the top there. Look at that. We have fire, folks. Look at that. That is fantastic. Now if I can keep this going. That's the key. Keep it going. Got the initial ignition. Now if we can just keep it going, we'll be doing all right. This is a terrible tinder pile that I made. I was in a little bit of a hurry, but as you can see, we definitely have fire. I always love it when you can use your knife to make fire. Just get these little tiny pieces going. Smaller the better right now. So as you can see, the knife had a good spine and it was able to make a fire. Very cool. I like that the knife was able to perform on that level. To make a fire with the knife, for me personally as a survivalist, that's a big thing. If a knife can't do that, I don't want it. That is wonderful. I need some more tiny little pieces. The knife just did such a good job today. Not only in the initial sharpness, but the batoning, but now in the fact that we're able to make fire with it. You know, just a wonderful, wonderful experience here today. Let's put some more oxygen to it here. Yeah, there we go. I love the way this juniper smells when it burns. So this would be a good knife to have around camp. good camp knife. I love the full Tang construction. I think they've done a really good job with this one. It's almost ready to put some larger stuff on. So there we go. Got a little fire on the side of the rock there. All because of that Oknife Fortitude. That thing did fantastic. As you can see, it clearly passed the fire test. It can make a fire. Kydex sheath. Boom. Good retention, no noise. I like that. We have a beautiful little fire now. Now I can warm my hands up. If this was a survival situation, this knife would have gotten me out of a pinch. Absolutely, no doubt about it. And that tinder pile that I used, it wasn't even that good. I spent maybe less than 5 minutes coming up with that tinder pile. It wasn't anything fancy. Sure impressed. Did a good job. Kind of weird making a fire right on the side of a rock like this, but it was a good camera angle. So I did it. There we have it. So folks, that's about all I have for you today. In this video. That is a wonderful knife. I hope you enjoyed this video. I like the way they did that. That is wonderful. There's like a hook on it, so you just push it and the bar gets out of the way, and then you hook it and lock it, and now it's locked in place. Wonderful knife. Big thumbs up from me to Oknife for doing that. I love it. I have no doubt in my mind that this is a knife that I can rely on. So folks, with all that being said, thank you so much for stopping by today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please feel free to check the description box down below. I'll put a link to where you can find this Oknife. This knife was not sent to me for review. When I found out about this, I reached out to my contact at Olight, asked them for one for review. They didn't respond, so when I found that they were available, I bought one. So this is a non-biased review, folks. This is me giving you my honest thoughts. I do that anyway, even when they do send me products. I always tell you the truth. But with all that being said, folks, thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to leave comments down below, like this video, share this video, and until next time, I hope you guys have a beautiful day. We'll see you on the next one. Bye for now. Oh yeah, that feels good. That feels really nice. I love that. Feels good.